Hippopotamonstrosis quipedaliophobia. Born in 1749, Conrad Eyre is the earliest born person to have ever been photographed. The difference between graveyards and cemeteries is graveyards are next to religious buildings and cemeteries are not. The reason we call it a second is because it's the second way to break up time after an hour. Minute, second. Sunflowers are not a single flower. They're actually many tiny flowers on a single disc. Genetically speaking, hyenas are more closely related to cats than dogs. The oldest continuously inhabited community within the United States is Acoma, New Mexico. Unlike most fruit, it actually takes 2 years to grow a single pineapple. Did you know Cookie Monster's first name is actually Sid? Hawaiian-style pizza actually originated in Ontario, Canada, not Hawaii. The scientific taxonomical name for the western lowland gorilla is gorilla gorilla gorilla. Carrots used to originally be mostly purple. Dutch breeders would make an orange variety and that would become popular worldwide. Ed Curry has bred most of the world's hottest peppers. Every time somebody breaks one of his records, he releases a new one to get it back. Cat litter was only invented in 1947. What did they do before that? The United States has lost at least 6 nuclear weapons since 1950. Pumpkins are actually berries, meaning berries are not only the biggest fruit, but can get as big as cars. Pluto hasn't even gone halfway around the sun since it was discovered back in 1930. Elvis Presley only did one commercial his entire life, and it was for a small donut shop in 1954. Cheetahs often get anxiety when in captivity, so they're raised with dog companions to help them out emotionally. Strawberries and raspberries. Neither of them are actually berries. They're a type of fruit known as aggregates. Ants are so small that they can jump from practically any height and hit the ground safely. An actress who survived the Titanic was forced to lead in a film about the Titanic sinking just days after it happened. Croissants. They actually originate from Austria, not France. Green rump parrotlets give all of their children unique names, even ones that they adopt. When the Earth and Moon are at their furthest points from each other, you can actually fit all of the planets side by side between them. The oligodynamic effect is an antibacterial property of certain metals like silver and copper. They self-sanitize. The biggest completely terrestrial animal native to Antarctica is the Antarctic midge, a flightless fly. The official bird of Redondo Beach, California is the Goodyear blimp. What? Manatees and elephants have hind molar progression. Instead of a new tooth rising from underneath, it pushes them all forward from behind. Totem poles are meant to decompose outside naturally. To preserve them has been historically seen as a cultural taboo. Yasuke is history's only known African samurai. A skilled fighter, he served under Daimyo Oda Nobunaga. Nimrod used to be a compliment for a skilled hunter, but Looney Tunes' sarcastic usage of it made it into a generic insult. Lucilla Ball from I Love Lucy was a key financial backer that made Star Trek possible. Horses kill more people annually in Australia than any other animal, including all the venomous creatures combined. Time moves faster on smaller planets. Colonizing Mars would constantly desync their clocks with Earth. If all of humanity took part in a rock, paper, scissors, shoe tournament, it would only take about 33 rounds to determine a single winner. TASER is actually an acronym for Thomas A. Swift Electric Rifle. Blue raspberries are not a real thing. Their flavor comes from the white bark raspberry. Today's date, February 2nd, 2020, is the first palindrome date we've had in 1,000 years. No matter what order they're in, if you flip them, they still read the same. Americans say aluminum instead of aluminium because the Brit who coined it started with aluminum, but when he changed it, it didn't catch on in the US. The state of Texas is projected to have more tigers in captivity than exist in the wild, though the overall population is increasing. In some places in the world in the US, if a boat sinks with passengers and they perish, the boat can be officially recognized as a gravesite and protected. Since the Chernobyl disaster, there's been fungi that has appeared in the area that has the ability to feed off the radiation. Dropping a gummy bear a meter above the surface of a neutron star would hit the ground so fast its force would be the equivalent of 1,000 nuclear bombs. One of the biggest single-celled organisms is bubble algae, capable of growing 2 inches or 5 centimeters in length. Cosmonaut Gennady Padalka's traveled more than any other person, having gone 590 million kilometers orbiting the Earth alone. The descendants of Confucius hold the record for the longest verifiable family tree at around 83 different generations. Every 6 months, Pheasant Island switches ownership between France and Spain. This has happened over 700 times over the course of centuries. Blood has been found to exist in at least 6 different colors due to their chemical makeup: red, yellow, green, blue, purple, and brown.